It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last we left off, this group of adventurers had come together, spotted for their skills and unexpected camaraderie in the middle of a street battle with furniture by Sir Bertrand Bell. Brought you to a previous employer of his, Lord Eric's Eshteross, who decided to take you under his wing as possible mercenary clients. Sent you on your first adventure to look into some thefts that were happening in one of the textile warehouses in which he had interest. Dunas, the gnome you've been following, was killed by a strange, gaunt, pale, dwarven individual, and apparently a number of odd creatures that you had referred to from previous experiences, shade creepers. You battled within this room with this dwarf able to escape, but you had proof and information of who was responsible for these thefts, or at least who within the company was allowing them to happen. And with the body of Dunas, you returned to Lord Eric's and completed your mission, though sad at the life that was lost. Celebratory evening was had, you were paid, and a possibility of future work was set before you. You retired for the night back to the Spire by Fire Tavern. Amongst drinks and food, you all went to your various places that night to rest, while Sir Bertrand Bell, riding the high of the first victory in a while, wandered the night, found himself joined by an unexpected individual in the alley. As he lay there, left bleeding and alone, Imogen, a familiar nightmare, came to you. And in the midst of that dark red hellscape, you saw the shadow of a man not unlike Bertrand stepping into nothing. And that's where we left off. So it's Imogen. Do you feel the dream is enough to wake you, or do you ride it through like you have before?
I feel like I would have woken up from that.
Okay. So, in your room, here in the windowed wall, not that far from Laudna, since there's not a lot of space in the place you're currently staying, you immediately wake up.
Laudna.
What? What's wrong? Are you all right? It's another nightmare. Are you okay?
Yeah. Something happened in it, though. I saw someone else. I think it was Bertrand. I don't know what it means. But it's never happened.
Oh, what is the feeling that you got from it, do you have?
I don't know. He looked almost like he was at peace. Like he... But I don't understand how that's possible. Like, Laudna, I swear that storm is terrifying.
I know.
Nothing would be comfortable there. And I don't know.
I just grab her hand.
I don't know. Check on him? Should we check on him? Should we go back to the tavern?
I'd be up for a midnight stroll.
So, you head to the Spire by Fire. It is fairly dead for the night. While it is open, you can see that the usual patronage is done.
Bertrand?
He's fine.
Vern! Orin! Bertrand!
You, being the most perceptive of the group, suddenly jump awake at the sound of heavy knocking at the door.
Hello?
Oh!
Yes?
Oh!
Yes?
Orin! Orin, it's Ladna!
Orm comes out into the hall just in his breeches. What is going on? It's
The two of
middle
you
the
have
night.
begun to rouse and wake up from the...
We're looking for Bertrand. I just need to make sure he's okay.
Who?
Bertrand.
Mr. Bell, I'm sorry. Bertrand?
No response.
Wait, what is this, feeling? You said you had a feeling? What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
I had a dream about him. You're not here.
Yeah, but Sam is.
Imogen, she has these senses, and they tend to not steer us wrong.
I've had a dream for a very long time. A very long time. And while it morphs and grows, it never really changes, if that makes sense. And, tonight was the first time I've ever seen someone else in it. And it was Mr. Bell. And, I don't know, I don't know what it could mean, but it makes me nervous for him, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like it's a premonition of sorts?
I genuinely have no idea.
I'm gonna go right over the door and rattle it and knock again. Bertrand?
I mean, I left him with you last night. When did you leave with
He
him?
was with us. He was
What did he
drinking
do?
a lot.
I saw him right before he went to bed, or I thought he was going to bed, and I stayed up. I tried to take him upstairs. He was very drunk, and he said he was going to look for you.
While they're all arguing, Orem pats back into his room and comes out with his blade. And,
Did you see?
Get out of the way.
Did you see which direction he walked away in?
I'm striking the latch off of his door.
It takes you 2 hits in succession, but very quick succession, and the knob just falls and hits the ground. And the door opens up in front of you.
Bertrand.
The bed is made and looks untouched.
I mean, he said he wakes up really early, but I think this might be a little too early, right?
No, he wasn't here.
I fast walk back to my room and I grab my cloak, my outer cloak, and I put it on, and I'm walking down the stairs.
I'll get my stuff.
Yeah.
Same.
He was happy. He was fine. We sang songs, we laughed, we drank, and then he just said he was I shouldn't have left him.
Hey, this isn't your fault.
We'll find him. Ready?
Which direction did he go?
Well, if he was looking for you guys, maybe
Retrace
we
our steps.
retrace our steps to wherever.
So as the 5 of you trek out into the darkened streets of the core spire, wandering through what you assume to be a path someone like him might take, going on for a bit, you begin to second guess whether you're worrying for no reason, until you're the first to see in one of the alleys to the right what looks to be a dark shape left about 10 feet back on the ground, vaguely humanoid.
I mean, maybe it just means he's like shady or something, you know?
I don't know if I trusted him.
Hold here for a second. I'm going to creep into the alley.
As you approach, kind of going through the motions of stealthy arrival, you feel your heartbeat begin to beat faster and higher up in your chest. Your throat begins to close slightly with the eventual reveal of familiar details, as this is indeed a person lying on the ground. They're not moving, but it is indeed Bertrand Bell.
Y'all just see Orem turn back to you all.
I send my lights over.
I start to slowly walk up.
I'm gonna stay back.
I'll rush over to Orem.
With the lights, the crackling, purplish pink energy that lights the space, it is definitively Bertrand, and that brief little glimmer in your mind of maybe he just got drunk and fell asleep sinks into a deep, fearful sadness as you can see the pool of still wet blood that has encircled him, and the numerous puncture wounds that are visible on the chest. Oddly, serenely smiling.
Fuck.
Careful.
I'm gonna
Start scanning the area.
Perception check. What do you?
I'm gonna go over and try to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. Go ahead and place your hands, and as you touch the body, the first thing that catches you, even though you're still going through the motions and reciting the incantation for the spell, cold to the touch, and as you release that bit of magical energy, no effect.
I put my hand on Dorian's shoulder.
I turn and I grab Imogen's wrist.
I'm gonna check his pockets. I'm gonna take whatever's in there.
Okay. I'll have Travis text you whatever Bertrand had in his pockets.
And I got a 19
He just got all of his shit.
scoping air.
Well, one man's trash.
Still warm. Still warm.
Come on!
Not warm, thankfully.
Just a pocket full of
Slightly
brothers.
less.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, no, any kind of telltale sign or tracker, anything. I don't think I'm going to find anything. I'm looking for anything left behind by what.
The only thing that's visible here is Bertrand and his wounds. So if you want to roll a medicine check, if you want to learn about the specific wounds on his body.
19.
Damn, okay. There are definitively 6 punctures, actually. 6. About half of them are from a stiletto-type knife, and the other looks to be some sort of a rapier. The weaponry you immediately connect is very similar to that which you saw being wielded by a pale dwarf figure earlier in the...
Okay. Came back to finish the job. This was done by the dwarf we found.
How far are we from Lord Eshteross's?
Yeah, that's the way to go.
About a 10-minute walk.
We have to take him.
We have to take him. Okay, I'm gonna try to lift him up.
So, the two of you are propping him up, and the rest of you are running interference as you make your way towards Lord Eshteross's place. Right.
Yeah.
While you two still sleep, unaware.
And get a long rest.
Get a long rest.
Yeah.
Eventually, you come to the exterior of the Eshteross estate, knock on the door. After a prolonged wait, you see a very, very tired Evelyn open the door, kind of nightcap on. Hello, can I help?
Sorry.
We need to see Lord Eshteross.
She kind of looks past and sees the both of you. Right, come in. Leads you inside. Eventually you hear the door open to the study as Lord Eshteross comes in, heavy kind of nighttime robe, himself having one of those like long Dickensian nightcaps that kind of just over the shoulder, kind of rubbing his eyes a bit as he puts his spectacles on. So, Evelyn told me, looks over at Bertrand's body. Right.
We had no other contact. You're the only other person we know who knew him.
And this was an entanglement. It came from the job we did for you.
I am sorry. This is gravely unfortunate.
Well, we stumble onto something at your behest, but we stuck our noses into something, and whoever this individual is, whatever he represents, didn't like it. And maybe Bertrand is somehow wrapped up in something, but this ties right back to the warehouse. So if Bertrand's involved, it's a coincidence.
I'm wrestling with my own
frustration and regret for unintentionally causing this by getting you involved. It was him that requested work, but none of us knew this would be the outcome. I've seen many in my time pass. Some horrifically. Some by my hand. So maybe I'm a bit numb to these sort of things. But that does not mean the loss is lost on me. I could look to arrange something of your preference for those that knew him.
None of us knew him very well.
Well, speak with Evelyn. It would be a shame to not give him a proper send-off. As to whatever this business is, I do not wish to pull you further into such danger if it makes you uncomfortable. I could look into hiring others to follow this thread with less heat.
I feel like I would like to see where the end of this thread goes now that we've pulled it a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want whoever did this to Bertrand to get away with it.
I scooped him up. We sort of had his things, and I grabbed his cane and the gambler's blade. I've got it in my hand, and Bertrand put up a fight. I think I'd like to as well. And I'm like, give the cane.
Takes it and kind of holds it in his hand a bit, turning it in his palm.
And a fight we shall have. Rest here for the night. Take the time you need in safety. Then follow what leads you wish.
Thank you.
I can keep the rooms here for as long as you need. Taverns are not safe while whoever this is still about.
Lord Eshteross kind of steps over to where you've laid Bertrand on the ground and kind of kneels down, holding the cane that you handed him. Just gingerly places it into his hand and closes the fingers around it and kind of pats it before standing back up and still looking down.
There is too much injustice. We're not pushing back hard enough.
And he turns and leaves the room.
I'm gonna say into Bertrand's head, just mentally, and I'm glad the noise has stopped for you. I'm glad you're at peace. I'll go stand by Ladna.
And just give her a big hug. I'm gonna figure this out.
I know. Imogen.
Hi, Fern.
Hi. Have you been to that place before that you see in your dreams?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always at home in my dreams. And then a storm comes.
Sorry if this sounds rude, but have you lost anyone that you're so personally connected with?
That's the thing, like, no, not really. I've told you about how I hear that voice speaking to me, and I've always just, I don't know how I know, but it's my mother, you know, helping me. And like I always imagined it was her, and I don't know, speaking to me from another realm or something, leading me away, and it was hopeful. But now that Mr. Bell has passed away and he was in the dream too, like, what does that mean? Does that mean
it could still be a sign of hope. Or at least a warning to keep you from getting in the same danger.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
You hear this odd noise echo from somewhere in the room. And you all hear it loudly upwards, and you look to the ceiling above, and you see blades in an awkward pattern, all suddenly jutting about an inch or so out of the wood and stopping, and just kind of almost laying there like this spread of sharpened points.
Oh no, is Mr. Eshteross?
Did someone else die just now?
One of the blades gets pulled out, and there's a slight bit of light that comes out.
Sorry, I'm just clearing the room.
And then the next one, and then the next one. So, night's rest. Both of you come to consciousness in the cookhouse. As you do, the morning sounds greet you as you begin to kind of pore over the events of the previous day, the successes that you saw, and the events that you have before you. As you begin to rustle and gather yourself, Annie kind of pokes into where you're sleeping.
Annie!
Hey.
Hey.
So, did you get work?
We got work. We got work!
We sure did.
We got work. There's money coming in. I've already dropped some with Milo. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing gig. This has got a feeling. It's got a feeling.
It doesn't feel like anything to me, but it sure could.
Let's go,
Yeah, well, I think we were supposed to be there closer to dawn, but knowing these folks, they're probably not even.
We're still going to be the first.
Yeah,
And I got an idea. Let's make some friends. Let's pick up some sandwiches on the way. Let's get some breakfast sandwiches. I got a place down here.
The rest of you wake up, briefly caught off guard by the unfamiliar space, that moment of when you wake up in a hotel room and you're like, where am I? Gather your things and head out into the morning light here in Jrusar. The evening mist that had gathered around the base of the jungle still sits heavy over the vistas before you, and you can barely see the jungle. It looks like you're sitting amongst these mountaintops high up in the sky, and there's just clouds beneath you.
Orem gives Dorian just a little shoulder check, like a little bump.
Morning.
You okay?
Yeah. I feel good. I feel a little angry.
I get that.
Yeah. I want to get everyone together. So we're going, right? Do we know how to find them?
Yeah.
You know where we're going?
Yeah, we're going to the vertical gardens.
Oh.
You two have been waiting there for quite a bit, holding a handful of sandwiches and, dodging the occasional cluster of birds wandering overhead, until you see the rest of your troop approach.
Oh, you're awake. Okay, that's good. I have food for everyone. We can start out fresh. Everybody, their sandwiches. Good morning.
Bertrand's dead. Sorry, I probably should have.
Dead tired?
No. Dead.
Now I feel kind of bad for not getting him a sandwich. Is it because of this stuff, or is it other
Is it old age?
No, it was old stabbing.
Old
New stabbing. Was
Hasn't changed in 2,000 years.
Good old stabbing.
I think the question is, do we want to sit and wait, or do we want to figure this out?
I want to go back to the hole. The hole?
Where the shade creepers come out.
Wayward Inn.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I agree.
Okay.
Return to the scene of the crime.
There
It's
you
always
go. You
smart.
head back to the Lantern Spire, into the Weary Way Inn, and it's early in the morning. It's busy, but mainly just patrons before they head off to work, just kind of getting their day started. A lot of hangovers, but the place is yours to explore. It's left as it was. You can still see the burn scuff marks on the wooden floor where the shade creepers had burst into flame and then turned to ash. The ash piles still left in those little scarred spaces. You are essentially in the middle of a crime scene.
Great.
But looking over to the space where you saw the original opening, that similar pathway that descends in between the walls still remains, about 1.5 feet wide. And it kind of curves into the wall and then drops. Looking down amongst the center space between the walls, the kind of basic stone floors that they're set and built upon, there is a section of stone a little off to the right of where you're looking down that it looks like there's a burrowed hole or an opening that descends deeper past the foundation.
So structure and then something burrowed up into the structure.
Correct.
But no one's getting down there except maybe me.
Maybe, yeah.
I just don't want you to go alone.
I've seen you do things where you turn
could
into
turn
other
into
things.
animals.
Yeah, crab.
Or your snake. Slither right on in.
Might as well try.
I don't know. But you guys strike me as a pretty formidable little group. You'll yank me up if you need to.
Sure.
Fern with me?
Yeah, I'll
I
go
mean,
with you.
if I have Fern with me, should be all right.
Yeah, of course. It's just a spooky hole that creepy monsters crawled out of.
Pretty powerful little guys.
Take this.
What's that?
It's my rock chisel.
Wow.
Nothing fancy, but it is designed for chipping through rocks.
Suddenly Lana's got like...
Wasted. Travis is gone.
Where's her face?
And take this too. Bing! I'll flip you my coin of delving.
Whoa.
It shines just a dim light within 5 feet of you.
Okay.
And if you get to a deeper hole, you can just toss it down and it'll make a sound that gives you like a sort of an image of what's
ping?
Yeah, like a ping.
That's cool.
Wow. But then I don't want to lose it.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, well, I'll hold on to it.
money means nothing to me, so.
And, you know, if you find something of value, knowledge, in the first, few minutes, I'll be able to tell. You
Okay.
can let me know.
Oh, okay, right. Because you're you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take the sash from around my waist and I put the coin here and I wrap a couple of times so I have a little light.
Fantasy headlamp.
Headlamp.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Tie it tight. And I've got your hammer and I got the rope around my waist. I feel silly. Let's go ahead and do this.
You look
You look silly.
What are you going in as?
Yeah, I'll go in as the snake. I'll just drop
Okay.
and then sort of float up.
Okay. Here we go.
So as you squirm your way in between the two walls and slowly get to the floor with your feet finding purchase on what is the foundation of the chamber, you're about 1.5 feet to the right of you is where the continued burrow hole goes downward. You get about 30 feet down and it's still just dropping and still dropping. 40 feet and then you get to the end of the rope and there you are dangling looking down into this abyss about 2 feet wide that just continues to descend.
But still walls to my left and right, so it just keeps going.
Just keeps going
Hasn't
straight.
opened up, okay.
You see very clearly that this just continues on to the very edge of your visual range, straight down. With your perception as well, you can see on the walls around you, they look burrowed and carved, but you can see all manner of claw marks. Like these have been climbed and skittered up through. Numerous times.
Well, shoot.
Goodbye.
All right. Stick in close, Fern.
It's good, it's good, it's good.
I'm about to lose visual.
You drop it, and looking down, you can see the glow of this tiny little bead of light. You see it shifting slightly as the air shifts. You can see the tunnel kind of turns slightly, and so you can't see it anymore. There's some sort of a shift or a curve to the drop, but you still don't hear anything.
Oh, what?
What?
It just went.
It just went just out of view, but you haven't heard it really impact anything.
Okay. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I just dropped Letter's coin.
Because he's gonna tell you when it's gonna drop.
It's going around a corner? All right.
and you wait.
I spoke too soon.
Okay. Wait,
The magic of this, that's any creature who hears the chime from the distance. It was dropped based on the coin alone. So you and Fern immediately, magically understand that coin dropped about 1,200 feet.
Oh! Okay, tell Ashton to start hoisting us up.
You get lifted back up and then out of the hole in the side of the wall that delves into the wall, and you're now back amongst your friends.
welcome back.
Okay, I thought maybe, I don't know, underground passage or sewer system. I'm new here. It just went forever, well over 1,000 feet. I lost your coin.
Oh. Okay.
You said it'd be okay,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
but it is okay,
it's
right?
totally fine. Yep.
I feel like maybe you're not okay
No,
with it being
I'm
gone,
fine
even
with
though you
it.
said
It
you
was-
would be.
It served its purpose, so it's good.
I'll drop one of it.
Oh no. Was it a special coin?
Did it have sentimental value?
Oh, I mean,
Was it from a dead friend? Was it from one of your other dead robots?
it
Lawson,
was,
sometimes it really is from somebody that's dead.
it was from somebody who's dead. Yes.
Oh.
It's from,
no.
Dancer gave it to me, but it's all good. It's fine. It's
We'll
fine.
find it.
It helped.
They don't want
It helped you down there, and it was for your safety. And I'm happy that you used it. That's what it was for. What are our leads here? What do we got? I mean, someone had to rent the room, so we could go ask the proprietor if they know who it was who rented the room.
I mean,
Use a real name.
or we could ask him if it doesn't work, then we steal the logbook.
Yeah.
Does no one bribe anymore? Is that just a thing that fell out of fashion where you just bribe somebody?
Oh,
Isn't that just the easiest way for everybody?
You do have 200 extra gold.
Let me try this alone. Let's see what happens. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna walk in, go straight to the bar.
Okay, you can see that the Maven is currently in conversation with another patron and kind of glances over as you approach. And say, hey there, can I get you something?
Friends and I kind of got into, well, I would say it was a scuffle, but it was more like somebody kind of jumped us last night. It was not pretty. It did not go well. This person was staying in this establishment. And I was hoping that maybe very quietly I could just get a name and I could make sure that whatever conversation I have to have with this person, once I know who they are, happens far away from here.
I'm sorry, I'll come back here in a minute. I gotta have
A
a
sum of
conversation
10
here.
gold over.
Honey, I'm extremely appreciative, but I run a very stern business here.
Going to grab 10 more gold. It's 20.
Well, let's just say, depending on what room they were staying in, I might have some information. I don't like other patrons being brought untoward violence.
Might have been a dwarf. Might have been a bit of a problem in the last couple days.
Right, we heard noises, and there's some busted up furniture in that room last night.
They hurt one of my people real bad. Real bad.
All right, yeah. I think I know the creep you're talking about. Weird looking fella.
Yeah.
Odd kind of pasty, clammy skin.
Very pasty.
yeah, bribing.
Duggar.
Is the answer.
Duggar.
Duggar's the name.
Duggars.
That's all I got in the book here. Yeah, I've been renting that room out for about a month now.
Ooh.
Off and on. They're not there often, but they've been paying steady.
Thank you.
Appreciate your patronage.
Yes.
Kind of goes and takes the this kind of bar towel and starts wiping the counter, and then sweeps the rest of the money off to the side into a pouch.
That's funny.
And keeps cleaning up.
He was staying here on and off.
On and off.
I wonder if he had other drop points in other rooms that he would rent at other taverns across
Maybe.
Jrusar.
And we know that he was compelling
Duggar.
Dennis to get stuff for him, right?
Yes.
This broomstone stuff.
Yes.
And that stuff is serious. Like, that's no fucking around.
So with a description and a name, you begin to journey back towards the Eshteross estate with the intent of seeing what threads can be plucked. You mentioned as you were heading off towards the Eshteross Manor estate, you were looking to possibly stop in a few places.
Oh, yeah.
Any taverns or inns we see along the way, just to go in and ask if
Okay. Yeah.
Duggar is staying there.
Along the way, the next one would be the Spire by Fire.
Yeah.
Shall we go in together?
You and I?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at knowing. I'm pretty good at talking.
You're pretty good at knowing. So I be the talker?
You can be talking.
I'm with talker, is that right?
Sure.
I'm scared immediately. Let's do it.
The two of you head into the Spire by Fire. How do you go about inquiring? Asking questions around, approaching? What do you do?
I'll start very uncasually milling about the bar like a bad patron.
So, what information do you drop as you begin to ask around?
I've talked too loud. Oh, Duggar, you old dog. Can't believe you've jilted me again. Well, look around.
As you say the name Duggar, nobody seems to pay much mind, but you do see one kind of scrappy, young-looking. This would be a tiefling with kind of a dull, kind of blue-gray skin. They kind of look over at you with just a glance of recognition, and then when they notice you looking, they just kind of like go back to their drink.
Slide into the booth. So, as I've been in town, I've been gambling a little bit, and a few nights ago, I met this dwarvish guy. He was very funny and a little creepy when I first met him, but we started playing cards, and then the next thing I knew...
While he's doing this, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on this person.
Okay.
Here we go.
That is not a success.
Right.
So the next thing I knew, I had won a few hands, and then maybe I was a few cups too deep, and turned around and they gone. Just gone. Jilted me on my bet. Now, I'm not a local, but I know that's bad form. And it was somewhere at a bar around here. Have you ever heard of the name of someone like that named Duggar by any chance?
Yeah, I know Duggar.
Hey.
I mean, he's always been kind of an abrasive shit, but, he's always down to gamble a bit and had a decent sense of humor, so, I haven't seen much of him as of late. Which is for the best, he's fallen into some tough times from the look of it.
From the look of it? What do you mean?
Well, he wasn't always this creepy, weird look. He's kind of fucking wasting away, pasty, damp look to him. Like, I didn't always look like that. Yeah, he's just weird now. Probably, maybe sick. Who knows?
In your head, Dorian, you're just going to hear, maybe ask him if he knows where he's been staying.
You don't have a lot of coin. You don't happen to know where he's staying by any chance, do you?
No, haven't seen him around quite a while.
Are you sure? And I'm gonna slap my hand on top of his or theirs in the tankard, and I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Yeah, he's pulled out of the phone.
It's all of it.
All or nothing.
So
Yes.
this immediately closed off, and then he watches you put your hand down, and they
Get out.
begin to pull back, and then there's this moment where the pupils dilate massively and then recorrect, and that intense look of like get the fuck away from me becomes this bright smile.
He...
And you're like, you've been during this conversation, you've been reading up on this too. Initially, a lot of the thoughts were, who the fuck is this guy? Why are they asking? Duggar's a fucking weirdo. I haven't seen him in a while. What did he do? I'm not part of this. It was very much like a protective, I don't want to get into trouble if he's in trouble. And then as you begin to delve deeper, the spell takes effect, and both of you, he is an open book at this point. He just goes,
Yeah, no, I mean, the transition started about 6 months ago, I'd say, Yeah, he was a carpenter years ago, but he closed up shop and he'd been making decent money for the past couple years without his business, which, means he's probably up to no good. If I'm to be honest, I think my guess is he's probably running with, Syndicate seems to be a bit too out of his space. I'd say maybe the Hubbard Corsairs is likely.
Oh, what was that again? I missed that. I'm sorry, it's so loud in here.
The Hubbard Corsairs.
Oh, and who are they again?
They're a tough and
HUB.
up-and-coming crew of ruffians and thieves. I just wouldn't say competition to the Syndicate, but they're I tend to focus on the Mahan and the shitty guild leaders and, guild mongers, so power to them, I say. Gonna steal from the rich and redistribute. Ain't gonna get that way.
Right, we hate the rich, don't we?
Horrible.
So, I'm empty. Do you want anything? How's your cup?
Yeah, fill me up.
All right, I'll be right back.
I say we get out while we can.
Yeah.
Before they notice.
Sure, let's go.
I mean, unless it seemed like we were running him dry.
That was about it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, just ghost.
Okay.
Just ghost.
Wait. He grabs his drink and begins following after. Where you going?
Oh,
We'll be back.
I will be back. I will be back. That's a promise.
Okay, well, you know where to find me.
Oh. Bye.
Ripcord.
Already, you return to Eshteross's estate, are brought into his study once more, and you can see in the side of the room, though a bit macabre, you can see there is a blanket, and it looks like Sir Bertrand is being held and cared, having passed, but he's not going to do anything with the body without your approval or permission. He's just kind of keeping watch.
I mean, he's got this pin on him. You know, he talked about Vox Machina. Maybe we can send him back to Taldore, where he said he was from.
Yeah, to his
I don't
friends.
know, Lord Eshteross, is it possible to send a body?
He's currently he has a small stack of books off to the side that he hasn't touched in a little bit, and he's going over some notes, and he has his glasses. He goes,
If you think that would be best, we can certainly arrange for him to be transported, yes.
Could either send him to Whitestone or to Zephyr. Both back in Taldore.
Is Zephyr where you're from? Why? And you think someone there would care for the body?
The symbol on his chest. He's wearing a symbol connected to people in Whitestone and where I'm from.
What if it's a fake? Bertrand did like to tell tall tales.
That's what I'm saying. But it's either that or we decide and do something here.
If you are inquiring about the legitimacy of his claims, as I do with everyone I do business with, I look in to see what their history might have. Not terribly deep for each of you so far, mostly. But I can say that there was a thread of truth, the extent of which I am uncertain, but their paths have crossed before. So if it brings peace of mind, at the very least, I think he will be recognized.
Well, Whitestone has always been a friend to the dead.
Okay.
No, if we're going to Whitestone, it would be the Lord and Lady of Whitestone. We would, I guess, send a message saying that we have a wayward member of Vox Machina.
Unless you think it would be better in Zephyr. It seems like you have a higher connection there.
That's true, although I don't know that it's better per se, but
I heard the person that's in charge of Zephyr is not very powerful. She's a bitch.
easy.
I heard the person in charge of Whitestone is way more powerful than the person in charge of That's what I heard. Through the grapevine.
This isn't even metagaming, and I don't know what this is. So we're inceptioning at this point. Please stop. And nosebleed.
I will have the papers written up, and when our skyship returns from its rounds, I will send him to friends. Other business. You've come here for other reasons, I assume?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I think that... Well, we're still really concerned about trouble coming back to bite all of us in the butt.
But
But
we've discovered a name, a lead.
Have you?
Yes.
you two know.
Well, we discovered that his name is Duggar.
You said that he had an association with the
Corsairs.
Yes.
Do you have a particular opinion on that group of people?
I do. To be honest, I have been wanting to try and reach out to them, partially to get a read on their personnel and their stalwartness in the message that comes to my ears about their work. They seem to be driven against similar corruption in some ways as I am, and what they steal, from what at least has come known to me, is often gifted to the less fortunate of Jrusar and the wilds beyond.
Oh.
Which I find amusing, and it gives me faith that perhaps they are not in the same league of misuse and abuse that other such individuals might be. If you do find any individual who belongs to the Corsairs, be careful. And if somehow in the future you gain the trust or respect of one, maybe speak well of me. I'm eager to expand the influence of what good we're trying to do. It is difficult to do so from inside this house. So, the more like-minded individuals I can connect with, the better.
And aside from just wandering around and asking at taverns, is there any specific place you think we should start our asking around?
If indeed you are looking for where the riffraff would congregate, well, there is the Hollow.
The who? The huh?
The Hollow.
The Fonsea Hollow.
Oh, yeah. We know that place.
There is also Elder's Post.
Before we depart, I'm sorry. I just feel like we should say goodbye to Mr. Bell. You know, I mean, I assume you're gonna wrap him up or something, or put him away. Or...
No, what you say is true. If you would like to take a moment and give your regards to the deceased before I ensure his final destination.
I've said my goodbyes already.
Well, I'll say something. Then I'll just go over next to him and say, Mr. Bell, we didn't know you very long, but and you sort of, I felt like you were fibbing a lot to us, but you know, you brought us all together, and that's important. That's something positive. And it seemed like you were out to do good in the world, which is also positive. And so for that, I think we just say thank you. You know, they say that the word goodbye is the hardest word to say, but it's not. It's Worcestershire. That's the hardest word to say.
So confused on us sometimes.
So goodbye. And we'll always remember you.
That was beautiful.
It was lovely.
Lovely. I'm gonna go over to Bertrand. Put my hand on him. Take out my shears and just cut a few chunks of his hair off. Tuck it away. It's a very useful substance, hair. Can be used for many things.
It's very good.
No, it's good. It's a part of him.
Yeah, and it's a part of him. Yes. Yes.
I'll follow Laudna and I'll my head on my shoulder and just kind of lean in and I'll just say, I'm still working on your song.
Well, I'll walk over and pull out some extra ribbon. Tie it around his wrist with a An oleander flower. Oh, Birdie. Listen, I really didn't trust you. And I heard that you didn't like jazz. And jazz is chaos. And I don't know how you can't love it. But you're an old boy, and maybe wherever you have gone, you have learned to love jazz. And I lean over and kiss him on the forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Hey, so, I guess in just a couple of days, you will have been gone longer than I knew you. Thanks for the job.
Lord Eshteross looks around and goes, "You'll be taken care of. Good luck."
All right, we'll get out of your hair.
Yeah.
All right.
I give
safe.
Bertrand one final pat on his, I don't know, his feet, maybe.
Perfect. All right. With that, Evelyn sees you
Orthopedic shoes.
out of the estate.
Orm lets them all fall out of the room, but he doesn't leave.
Okay.
Oh.
Lord Eshteross, may I trouble you for a private word?
Certainly.
I've come a very long way. And I'm looking for someone. Those people in Whitestone, those people in Zephyra. People in Zephyra are relying on me to figure a few things out, and I'm looking for someone. And you seem to know a lot of people here, and I've been hesitant to ask. Have you ever worked with anyone named Brescio? Bashad Brescio. Known to some as the Anger?
You are an agent of the Ashari, then,
Yes, sir.
to have been sent by Zephyra. I have not worked with this bodyguard, but I know of them, and I know the Mahan house that they were assigned.
House.
And I assume your business has to do with the attack on the family.
I think so, yes.
What is it you wish with this anger?
What happened with the family here is reminiscent to something that happened from where I come from. And I'm just here to see if there's a connection.
Very well. Well, my connections to the Mahan House Loomis, which was the target of the attack, are somewhat strained but not impossible. I will begin seeing what I can do. From what I understand, this Rashad you speak of is still recovering from his wounds. I will inquire, and should you stay safe enough, perhaps I can arrange something.
That is deeply appreciated, and I don't need to rush it. We have our hands full here. You do as well. But it's deeply appreciated both by me and the Ashari as well. And on the way out, I just sort of stopped by Bertrand and thumbed the pendant on his lapel. Safe journey, you sly old fox.
What do you think started the Elder's Post?
Oh, yeah. So Elder's Post is the tunnels. The thing is, Ashton is familiar with the Hollow,
I
so
live in the Hollow.
we could go there and...
We can go hit up my people real quick and then jaunt over to something a little more, and I do stress this, a little more fucking dangerous. So.
Sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, I know we want to find answers, but we also don't want to stumble blindly into the den. So, we should start with what we know.
So, you travel at Ashton's behest, beyond the core spire, back to the lantern spire. You continue down this pattern line of pathways until you're met with the bustling sounds of raised voices in Marquesian, the music of buskers, and the smells of fresh, wet earth mingling with steam and cooked goods. The tunnel then opens into a communal cavern keyhole space filled with carts, tents, standees, and platforms where all manner of everyday goods and collectibles are hawked. You're looking for Advic. Advic does not have a stationary space here in Elder's Post and is kind of a wandering merchant of the space. You do recognize what you see as a tall male elf, looks a bit like in 30s or so, dark, handsome figure that has this kind of like heavy gray patterned, like thick wool cloak across the shoulders, completely shaved head. Kind of just looks like Lance Reddick, to be honest, as an elf. Bless him. You know it as Ifrid, also known as the Shadow.
Hi. Weird running into you down here. This is fucking crazy. What are you doing down here?
What I always do, sell my wares.
What? I have new friends, by the way. I've made friends. They're great.
Do your friends have coin?
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Keep going, down the line. Just make your way all the way to the bottom of the line.
Pulls open his cloak, and you see on the inside there are all manner of pouches, and within each one are just colorful, wonderful smelling baked goods. Look upon the work of the Shadow Baker.
The Shadow
Baker.
Wow.
Ooh, he's got branding. I appreciate
I wrote
that.
Shadow Breaker down.
Plucks out what looks to be this kind of round cinnamon roll that has this odd kind of purple icing around it with little dashes of bright orange.
3 silver.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mark off 3 silver. You taste this, it's very sweet. The scent and bit of flavor that you capture has kind of a blackberry, but with a bit of like a citrus twist to it, even just a bit. You're like, that took you on a ride for just like a brief touch of the tongue. Maybe this guy earned his name. It's very delicious.
Holy shit. Really good. You try this.
Should I actually take a bite?
I need a baked good.
I understand.
And some information.
All right, information. I can help you with that.
I'm in bad with a dwarf named Duggar.
Listen.
And I think that they have some dealings with the Corsairs. And I need to get a hold of the Corsairs somehow. I need to get any kind of contact there because I'm pretty sure there's no way they could be in with what this guy's into. It's just some bad shit. All right?
Make a persuasion check.
6.
6. Do you want to pay for this, or do you want me to just give you a baked good and some information?
Pull out 5 gold.
Snags it and says,
approach the dark-feathered ice furra called Heron within the Root Trader alcove on the other side of the post. Tell him you come for the laughter.
I appreciate your generosity.
I appreciate your friends not prying.
closes the cloak and walks away.
To the Root Trader alcove?
Let's find our way to the Root Trader alcove.
To talk to who?
Heron.
To the Root Trader alcove?
We're there.
At this point now, you guys have meandered through the crowd, carefully watching your coin purses.
I dare you.
Until you come to what you've passed it before, though you've had no reason to stop here. It's called the Root Trader. You see a female brass dragonborn, and then off to the side you can see a male ice furra, which is the bird folk here. Both turn and look, and the woman goes, "Hello! So good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the Root Trader. What can I get for you? What are you looking for? What is your interest?"
We're looking for a heron?
Yeah.
"Heron, you have visitors." And turns over, and the bird's like, "What? I don't know why. What do you want?
We're
What do you
here
want
for the
from me?"
laughter.
We've come for the laughter.
We've come for the laughter.
Both look at each other. Huh. Well then, follow me. And you watch as the female Dragonborn stands up and goes across the room and kind of closes the door. And Heron kind of goes behind one of the large racks that you could see are holding all manner of kind of dried brown and twisted and braided. It looks almost like jungle vines that have been made into these long, almost leathery strips. It takes the rack and shifts it to the side. And behind it, you can see there's a door that is normally kept, tightly held. They go ahead and unlatch it and step inside. It leads into a roughly hewn, tight, kind of a spiral staircase that goes up into the rock. We led you all up into this kind of low-lit chamber with a single table and a low-wick lantern. You don't see the walls anywhere necessarily right now. It's very low-lit and tight in the space. Other lanterns begin to light and underlight faces from below. And you just see all these faces grinning in your direction. About a dozen or so, and many more beyond them that you can just see the outer outline of them. Probably close to 30 or so individuals line the interior of this room in different spaces, and they've kind of just left the center of it open for you. Herring goes, "These folks have come for the laughter," and steps aside and kind of joins the edge, and you hear different laughs and chuckles beginning to slowly spread throughout the room. You watch as one person strides forward from the group, setting his lantern along the ground and gingerly twirling a scimitar in his hand. You see what looks to be a tall man of smooth, sepia-brown skin and striking light brown eyes and a tangled mop of dark, roguish hair, wearing a forest green leather chest plate and braces over a sleeveless Kurta shirt of a very, very kind of light beige color. Leans forward, a Marquesian, towards those who can understand it, scimitar at the ready, pointed towards you. "This, friends, is certainly not your luckiest of days."
Oh, no.
And that's where we're going to go ahead.
Oh, no!